kind of politics. And that is why you hear me say we must not walk back to blackmail, threats, intimidation in our politics that took us to the precipice that our country almost became in 2007, 2008. We would be the biggest fools not to learn from the mistakes of our past. And that's precisely why we do not think anybody in our country would be attempting to repeat, so to speak, the mistakes of 2007, 2008.
Thank you. Yes.
Hello. My name is Honorable Simon Mbogwa, but my votes did not meet to standard. I know the politicians, they understand what I'm saying. I'm from Nakuru County. I'm privileged my senator is there. And Your Excellency, I have this question. My question is mainly, are we going to vote the people of diaspora? And again, I need you to give me an assurance, because I know we are going to win this election because I'm a UDA member. I need you to give me an assurance that I heard the other time Honorable Sabina Chege saying that they will do something, stealing the votes. I will be so bitter when I'm working so hard bringing people from Pennsylvania to Washington to register as voters, and then at the end of the day, they come to steal our votes. So I just need your assurance, sir, that nobody is going to steal our votes, and you are going to work on that. Thank you so much.
On your first question, yes. There is provision, and I think there are states and countries, and they keep increasing. The capacity of the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is being built so that we can have more Kenyans in the diaspora voting. There will be opportunity for people in America to vote. I wish we could make it a lot more easier for them to vote. And I think progressively and going into the future, hopefully, when we form government in August, we will have a diaspora ministry that can actually look into the issues of diaspora, their concerns, their voting rights, and all that. So, yes, there will be opportunity for people in the diaspora to vote. Not to the extent that everybody will, because it is limited by capacity and by extent to which that can happen. And I think not in every country outside Kenya. I think there is a list of, I think, almost 10 countries where people can vote. But that's work in progress. I think there were 3-4 countries before. I think the IEBC will continue building that capacity. On your second item as to whether the vote will be stolen, it's part of that recklessness that I was talking to. The recklessness in because you remember the events of 2007, 2008 were premised on a stolen election, and we keep, hearing this stolen election narrative. And what we are asking is that every candidate in this election must commit that they will accept the outcome of the election. And if they query the outcome of the election, it should be using constitutionally stipulated mechanisms and not pushing people to war. Unfortunately, some of the candidates have never committed themselves to accept the outcome of an election, whatever election. But I hope this year we should be able to push them to that level. And finally, is to say that I am very confident from where I sit that no election will be stolen.
Thank you. We have a question over here.
Thank you very much. My name is Karanja Gashusha, and I'm a journalist here in the U.S. I'm actually a White House correspondent, so I'm usually directing my questions to the White House, but it is a pleasure to direct my question to you, Mr. Deputy President. Karibu sana. You spoke very fluently about bottom-up economics and specifically about predatory lending practices, and I would love to hear a little bit more about that. But I'm focused on economics, so it was very exciting to hear you. But on a global level, there's also predatory economic practices, particularly coming from Western countries, the United States, the EU. We have the World Bank, IMF, with SAP, for example, structural adjustment programs, which prevent us from, what is it called, like subsidizing farmers and stuff like that. And I always hear about American strategic interests, particularly from American leaders. I've never heard a Kenyan president talk about Kenyan strategic interests. And so with regard to Kenyan strategic interests, is it in our interest, when it is in our interest to work with other partners, be it Russia, be it China, are we free to do that? Do we have the true freedom to do that? And then I have, it's a double-barrel question, forgive me. With regard to American democracy, Dr. K wouldn't be surprised to hear me say this. It has never really been democratic. The Electoral College is not democratic. The Senate is not democratic. The gerrymandered Congress is not democratic. The openly partisan Supreme Court is not democratic. Europeans eradicated smaller tribes, which is why they all speak French in France, for example, but there were actually other tribes, as many as 14 in France. And so, but we have very different cultures where we have continued to maintain our diversity. So my question with regard to democracy is that, is Western-style democracy really suitable for us Africans? Should we not be looking at, we were traditionally led by councils of elders, for example. Should we not be looking at systems